Hey guys, my name is Allison Anderson and I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm going to be talking today about my why I became a Beachbody coach. So, throughout my teenage years and my early 20s, I struggled with an eating disorder, poor body image, depression, all the above. In that time period in my life, I was filled with really low self-esteem, unhealthy relationships with food, with exercise, with people a lot, and just general unhappiness. And so I really didn't know who I was or what I was meant to do in life. As a kid, I was a perfectionist and very overly competitive, and so you can see how all that mixed together was kind of a perfect storm for disaster. Um, After meeting my husband, when we were 18 and lots of therapy, 2 rounds of inpatient treatment, hard work on myself, I was finally able to get into recovery and stay that way. I was in a really good place. I still struggled with the occasional bouts of low self-esteem. Um, and body image issues was still an ongoing struggle. But thankfully, those behaviors, those eating disorder behaviors, were gone, and I had the tools I needed to stay healthy. I had a lot of support. My family was very involved in my recovery, and some really good close friends. I'd always known I wanted to be in the helping profession. I became a CNA in high school, and when I first had my first open wound care patient, I decided that physical health care was not for me, and so I went the mental health care route. It was a better fit for me, um, and it really solidified my choice when I got into recovery myself. I met so many amazing counselors and people who helped me through my journey, and I just knew I I wanted that to be me. I wanted to help people in their darkest time. That really clicked with me. Um, I knew I wanted to help people just with any type of mental illness, but I really connected with addiction, whether it be eating disorders, drugs, alcohol, anything like that. So those addictive qualities, I really wanted to help people through those things and model how recovery was possible. I know when I was struggling, I didn't think it was ever going to be that way for me. I didn't know what it was like to not struggle. And so I knew once I got better that I wanted to be that person that people could look at and say, oh, okay, well, she went through it too. I think I have some hope myself. That was very important for me. Um, so throughout that whole time, um, throughout my recovery, I developed a lot healthier relationship with food and exercise. Before I was constantly punishing myself. Food and exercise was not enjoyable. It was all for weight loss and to burn calories of food I just ate and other things like that. Um, I was comparing my body. It was never good enough. It was never fit enough, thin enough, things like that. Fitness very quickly became a means to control my weight. If I ate a dessert, I had to go run, things like that. But now, when I got into recovery, fitness was enjoyable for the first time in a long time. I played sports my whole life, and it started out as a kid, very enjoyable. My dad and I bonded a lot over sports growing up, and I did those in high school and college. But when I was struggling with my eating disorder, sports weren't fun anymore for me. It took something that was very special for me and my family, and it turned it into something bad and unhealthy. But once in recovery, like I said, I was able to enjoy it, and I did it for healthy reasons. It made me feel good. It made me feel less stressed. It gave me energy. It was something fun to do with my husband, things like that. And I used it a lot for, anxiety reduction and depression reduction and different things like that. If I decided to push myself and go run a half marathon like I did with my husband, it was more to prove that I could overcome things that were physically challenging and mentally challenging and that my body was capable. It wasn't so that I'd burn thousands of calories running this race or walking. I did a lot of walking. But it was something that was really great to accomplish for me, that I can persevere. Um, Exercise became a hobby, and to this day, I've really never found anything else that works better for me mentally than exercise. I still struggle with anxiety and occasional. I wouldn't call it depression, but I do feel down sometimes, and I go exercise and I feel better. I feel relieved, and it has just really done wonders for me mentally. Um, and I also mentioned a few minutes ago that I got into recovery after meeting my husband. We met at 18 and we've been together ever since. He's always been a kind of my rock, my source of support. And we've had ups and downs in our relationship, of course, like anyone else has. But I guess in a cheesy way, he completes me. So it's great to always have him with me there. But he's always had this appreciation for food. In the beginning, I didn't understand it because I didn't grow up in a household that we didn't cook a lot. We went out to eat a lot because we were busy with sports and other activities. And he showed me what it was like to really appreciate food, quality of food. He taught me what a medium rare steak was. I'd never had one before that, and it was delicious. And so he just really changed the way I viewed food, that it could be for pleasure and for enjoyment and not just for evil, I guess you could say. He loved to cook. He was always cooking. His mom was always cooking. He loves to eat. And he now works in a restaurant, which is pretty awesome and kind of ironic that my struggle was always with food and I ended up with someone who has such a passion for food. But he taught me how to cook. He taught me about seasonings. He taught me that food was an enjoyable thing and that it could turn into a hobby. We've done tons of cooking classes together, and to this day we cook a lot of meals. A date night in for us is cooking a big meal together, and it's fun. So after being in recovery for 5 or 6 years, being with my husband for that long, I decided I wanted to try and find a way to merge the two. I really had a passion for healthy eating and food and exercise, but then I also had this other passion for mental health care and helping people feel better and just have this sense of wellness. And so I never could quite find a job or role that allowed me to combine the two. And fast forward to about a year ago, we found out we were expecting our first child, Miss Harper Grace. She's about 2.5 months old now. But back when we first found out that we were expecting, I was terrified, excited, but once the excitement wore down, I was terrified. Having my long history of eating disorder behaviors and low self-esteem and body image, it's so hard for girls in our society with that already. And then to have a mom with that kind of history, I was terrified that I was going to pass that on to her. And so I knew I really had to crack down and be on my recovery A game, I guess if you want to call it, and really start to work on healthy, even more healthy lifestyle choices that I was making. So working out more, eating healthier. We weren't eating very good. I was a 2 to 3 Diet Coke drinker a day. I love my desserts. My husband loved his energy drinks, things like that. But we knew we had to kind of clean all that up a bit so we could model healthy behaviors for her. That was our number one goal, more than anything. I was also terrified of how I would react mentally to pregnancy weight gain. Never in my life had I had to be okay with weight gain. And I knew I was going to gain weight, which I knew rationally that was going to happen. I was growing a human. But I just didn't know how my mind would react to that. Luckily, it was better than I could have expected. My self-esteem skyrocketed when I was pregnant. I guess the thought of growing another human and what was going on inside my body made me appreciate it so much more than I ever thought possible. But So that was a great experience, and I felt this new appreciation for my body and what it could do. And so I got this huge motivation to really go and run with that. I knew I wanted her to experience that. I wanted her to have this, man, look what I can do, type of confidence, and look at these things I can accomplish when I set my mind to something. And so it just pushed me more and more to really hone in on those healthy lifestyle choices. That's her right now. You can probably hear her. She's wanting me to come in there. But this is when Beachbody stepped in. I met Heather Shriver Burns, my coach, through a mutual friend, and she talked to me about Beachbody, and it clicked. I was expecting Harper. I knew I could. It was a great platform for me to talk about health, fitness, nutrition, wellness. It allowed me to have an income when I was on unpaid maternity leave, which was very hard when she came, and it connected me with a whole group of amazing, strong, powerful women that I didn't have a very good, strong girlfriend support network before that, and I've made so many good friends through this process, and I've just loved every second. It's been a dream job for me. I'm not to the point yet where I can quit my full-time job or stay at home just yet full-time, but I feel confident, I feel motivated, thanks to my team and my coach, and I've loved this whole process, and so I cannot stop sharing with other people about how amazing of an opportunity that it is. And so hopefully one day it does turn into something that I can stay at home full-time and be with Harper and just share what an amazing organization that this is. So I've been a coach for 2 months now. I'm almost creeping up towards Diamond, which is very exciting for me. But all I can say is that I'm going to keep working at it, and I'm going to keep remembering what my why is, which is, to model healthy behaviors for my daughter and to keep myself in a healthy place, healthy lifestyle, my husband in a healthy lifestyle, and just to stay connected with so many amazing women. I believe that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with, and if that's true, I think I'm going to keep growing into an amazing woman even more because I have so many amazing Beachbody friends that I've made. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching my story and my first video, yay, to ever post. So yeah, thank you.